scripture has been given to me from birth. And from that point on, Isa alayhi salam had shown miraculous characteristics from childhood onwards as being somebody special, spectacular and extraordinary. And we know that in his life, some of the miracles that he performed was curing the sick, and especially those with leprosy. He would cure the lepers. In Urdu you call it kor, this illness on the skin, and it's contagious, that if you touch anybody else as well, that they catch it as well. The sickness, illness of leprosy, at that time it was a common illness, what people would get, and there was no cure for it. But Isa alayhi salam would touch those sick people, which you could not touch otherwise, it's contagious, you would also catch the same illness. He would touch those people and heal them, curing the sick. He brought the dead back to life as another miracle. He brought the dead back to life. Ihya'ul Mawta, another one of his miracles. He put life as a miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala into clay birds. Birds made of clay, he blew into them and they flew as real birds. This is another one of Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam's common miracles. Unfortunately for the Christians that came later, especially, they took Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam to be divine, as the Son of God. And part of the evidence for that was the fact that he had no father in this world. So they took Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, na'udhu billah, to be his father. And that's why this surah that we read all the time is very important. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ Lam yalid. We always read it, do you know the meaning? Lam yalid, this is from the word wilada. In Arabic, lam yalid wa lam yulad. This is from the root yalid and yulad, because there's a lam in front of it, that's why it's got the jazm on it, sakin on the end. We won't explain the grammar now. It's from the root of wilada. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give birth to anybody, nor has anybody give birth to him. So Allah does not give birth to anybody, and the claim that Isa alayhi salam is a God, was given birth, this is also not possible. And that's why it's a very, Surah Al-Ikhlas. Ikhlas, we know it means sincerity, but it also means purity. They're related, the meanings, by the way. To be sincere is to be pure of heart. That's why it's pure Tawheed is described in this very, very important surah. And we know that when the Prophet ﷺ was asked about reading the Quran, the easy way to finish the whole Quran is if you recite Surah Ikhlas 3 times, you will get the reward of reading the whole Quran. That's how important this surah is. Absolute negation of shirk. And at his birth, what did he say? Inni Abdullah. He didn't say I'm the son of God. He said I'm the servant of God, the worshipper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you will find that with our Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, why is there so much emphasis in his person, in his sermons, about again being Abdullah, about being Bashar? People don't understand, unfortunately, and they refer to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, Muslims, as Bashar, in a way that is actually disrespectful or can indicate disrespect. We don't refer to the Prophet ﷺ and call him as a bashar, as a normal human being. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ referred to himself as a normal human being. It does not give us the right to call him a bashar. The evidence for this is that no Sahabi ever referred to the Prophet as bashar. They refer to him as Ya Rasulullah, Fidaka Abi wa Ummi, with the words of the most respect, may my mother and father be sacrificed upon you. Not referring to him as bashar, but he said bashar. Why? To negate any indication, any substance of divinity from him. That's why he referred to himself as bashar, and Allah called him bashar. But otherwise it doesn't give us the right to say that as a normal human being, because he was extraordinary. All the prophets were extraordinary. They did miracles, they received revelation. They are not ordinary human beings. There's a nice verse about this as well, that the Prophet is a bashar walakal bashari, because he's a bashar, but he's not like any other human being. Like when you have a stone, or like you have a pearl, A pearl is also a stone, la kal hajari, but it's not like any other stone. The pearl is also a stone, but does anybody say this is just a stone? It's a pearl, or a jewel, a diamond. But these are precious stones, invaluable in some cases. So Isa alayhi salam, whilst we respect him to the highest degree, he is not divine, nor is he the son of God. This is very important for you to remember. Another important distinction, by the way, if you notice in the Quran, it focuses on the miraculous birth of Isa alayhi salam. And that's why we say remembering the births of the prophets is the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those people that oppose celebrating the birth of our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, what we call the milad or the mawlid, are completely wrong when they say this has no foundation, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the births of the prophets in the Quran. In fact, Isa alayhi salam mentions his own birth. If you look, Salamun alayya yawma wulidtu wa yawma yamutu wa yawma yub'athu hayya. And earlier, Salamun alayhi yawma wulida. So the salam Allah gives on the day he was born, and Isa alayhi salam gives salam upon his own birth as well in the Quran. Upon his own birth, salam upon the day that I was born. And this is mentioned in the Quran. Last thing I will mention is the Yawma Yub'athu Hayya. And salam be upon the day that he will be resurrected. We don't believe that Isa alayhi salam was crucified on the cross. The Quran negates this. Although the Quran's emphasis is more about Isa alayhi salam's birth, not on what they call the passion or the crucifixion, but it negates it. But should be halal. But there was an imitation of Isa alayhi salam, some resemblance of him that was crucified. We won't go into the details because I want to finish on this. That Isa alayhi salam will come back and return at the end of times. Now this is similar to the Christians. Although they believe he was crucified and that he was resurrected immediately, we believe at the end of the times, Isa alayhi salam will return and he will fight and defeat Al-Masih al-Dajjal. He will defeat the Dajjal, and along with Al-Imam Mahdi, they will rule the world with justice. Inshallah, if we get time in the future, we will speak more about this topic. This was just to tell you the significance of Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam in our religion, how we have some things what are similar to Christian beliefs, and also where there are important distinctions. And also the message also to take home is, although we revere and honor Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, it's okay to say wish non-Muslims or Christians a good Christmas, but we don't celebrate Christmas ourselves because of the words of the Prophet ﷺ, Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhu, whoever imitates a people, he is amongst them. So as Muslims, we keep our own identity and our own religious festivals. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ.